Hey everyone, it's Charlie Morgan here. Welcome back to the whiteboard. In this video, I'm going to explain how to completely destroy your competition and how to actually just wipe them out. And I know how to do this because this is what I've done in my market. So when I started my company, Imperium Acquisition, 3 years ago, there were maybe 20 to 30 big players who were helping agency owners, coaches and consultants with client acquisition. That's what we do. And when I started, I was looking at them and looking at the competition, and I thought, okay, well, let's go to town on these people. And now in my market, there's only really maybe 2 or 3 serious contenders that I know of, us included. So what I'm going to do in this video is explain my strategy and philosophy for entering a brand new market that you have never been in before and taking out the top players as an underdog, as someone who hasn't got any experience in the market or might not know much more than the people. Because when I started my business, I looked at the biggest competition and you feel a sense of intimidation. Now they're my friends, the biggest guys, right? And we go to each other for advice, and you'll often find that when you find a worthy competitor, someone who actually can stand your march, so to speak, that collaboration is more effective than competition. And so there's a few competitors in my space that I respect, but most of them, 80-90% of them, we just wiped out. And I know this to be true because a lot of them work as marketing managers nowadays. They've just been destroyed because of our program. So in this video, I'm going to explain my philosophy. So really the philosophy or the strategy for doing this, it's all just underpinned by one thing, and that is the product. Now, before you have shiny object syndrome and plan to click off the video after your neurotic monkey brain has been satiated in terms of curiosity, I would just finish watching the video because I'm going to explain how to build a good product and how to actually beat these people. And if you can't be bothered to sit through and watch a video that explains how to get a product and you're just planning on clicking on a video on the right hand side, how the hell are you going to do anything, right? So just pay attention. So really it's all about the product, because when you boil it down, a business is really just a vehicle for the delivery of value from an entity to an individual. And that individual can be a business or it can be a person, because typically businesses are people, you're selling to people. And so your product is basically your business's value delivery system. And since the only real purpose of a business existing or being alive is to deliver value, then the thing that delivers that value is pretty damn important. And the problem is, in fact, this isn't a problem, this is an opportunity. The opportunity is this. In the current climate, in the current online business climate, there are what we would call market inefficiencies, where there are certain markets full of groups of people like this. This is a market and there's all these people, all these people in the market. Let's just say these are all people, right? And we've got markets right now with lots and lots of people in them. And the thing is when you have markets that have lots of people in them, obviously they've got an opportunity to make money there. However, there's a lot of inefficiencies at the moment because, how do you even spell? I don't even know how to spell. I've just lost the ability to spell efficiency. That is absolutely embarrassing and reprehensible. Let's just say this says inefficiency. How do you spell efficiency? Oh yeah, there you go. So there's lots of inefficiencies. So what does this mean? Inefficiency is when the market has what we would call needs, and there's competitors inside of this market. Let's just say these are all of the people competing, in this market. So let's just say, I'm just going to give you the example of what I did here. And let's just say that this is the SMMA market, which helps, the business is, I will show you how to get clients for your SMMA. When I came into this market, there's a ton of people. The market has a need because all these agencies need clients. But the thing is this need is being, if this is the need-ometer, right? If this is the need-ometer, and the need-ometer measures how well these needs are being met, and this being 0% and this being 100% met, then what was happening when I came into this market, there was an objective sort of truth where all of these people who I was competing with, they were maybe meeting the need at 20%. Like they weren't really meeting the need. They were meeting it, but because there was no one to check them, because there was no one to set a standard or to set a bar, they were all getting away with delivering really crappy products and selling really bad things for really high prices. And that flew in that market for years and years because there was no one to check them. And so what you do when you compete with these people, I'm just going to grab a different pen here. What you do when you compete with these people is you come into the market like this, and all you have to do to beat them is meet the need at a higher level. And what will happen is, because all of these people are pretty incompetent because they haven't really had anyone to check them, the incentive has just been to sell something for as much as they can, for as little work as they can, for as long as they possibly can, because that's kind of just human nature. I don't blame them, it's just incentive, right? What happens is when you meet a need at this level here, which means that your product is essentially better, you're delivering more value, you're getting faster, better results with more variety, then the thing is these people, they don't have the competence to meet the need at the same level. And so what starts to happen is all of the customers, if this is the market here, represented by all of the people in the market, what happens is the market starts to develop a bias towards your business and your product. And this is how monopolies form. So this is why, for example, if you take the e-commerce industry, I don't know this specific statistic, but I'm assuming Amazon probably owns half of all e-commerce traffic, or half of all e-commerce sales in the world. They have what you could call, in a market that large, a monopoly. It's the same thing with Apple, and they've got the odd competitor with Samsung, but they have a monopoly where the majority of sales, or they've got equal to or a majority of sales in the entire market, are attributed to their value delivery system. And the reason monopolies form, if you study these big businesses, is because what happens is they enter a market and they simply find a way to meet the need at a higher level than anybody else is capable of doing. And so the question then becomes, okay, well, I get the strategy, I get how it works. How do you do this? How do you come in and meet the need at a higher level? Well, this is why there's a huge opportunity in the online info space right now, and the online space in general, because this is going on in near enough every single market. This is happening everywhere. This is like, I can give you an example. I've got a friend of mine who runs a business in a specific niche. I won't say which niche because I don't want to start calling people out here. But he runs a business, and basically this niche is like an online, it's an industry that is, that typically used to be a brick and mortar in-person business model, and that business model has since transitioned to online. And this person was explaining to me his business and his product, and it's a pretty good product, and he's just starting this business, and he's showing a lot of promise. I think he'll go very far. And he then showed me the product of all the other people serving that market at this point in time, like right now. And their products, they just suck. Objectively, they suck. But the thing is the market doesn't know they suck, because products are either good or bad on a contrast of scale. I'm going to say that again. Products are good or bad on a contrast of scale. Now, what does this mean? Because how do you know if a product is good or not? Well, like I said before, it comes back to how well it meets the needs of the market. That's the objective measurement of a product. But a product is only going to be good or only going to be bad in relation to another product. And so what started to happen in my business when I first started it, 3 years ago, I built this incredible program that helped people with client acquisition. And people started to buy it, as they do. I'm just going to make sure I'm focusing here. People started to buy it, as they do. And what happened over time is people started saying, oh my God, this is like light years ahead of this person's course or this person's course. And when people start saying that about your product, you're going to have this exponential curve, because what's going to start to happen is the market will just bias towards you. It really is the kind of the law of the universe. And so going back to what I was saying a minute ago, products work on a contrastive scale. So someone doesn't know they're being misserved in a market where there's lots of inefficiency. And so coming back to this diagram that I have, like this, where you've got all of these people in the market, and they're all selling something. They're all selling a course, or they all have an agency on how to do this, that, or the other. But the thing is objectively, they all suck. But because they all suck at the same level, and there's no one to check them, the market, which is this big, this big group of people here, just represented by this red squiggle, it doesn't know. The market is clueless. It can't see clearly. It can't know that these people are underserving them, because it has nothing to compare it to. And so this is what I mean when I say that products are only good or bad in comparison to another. And so my product is only good because it's better than everybody else's. And everybody else's product is only bad because it's worse than mine. And I believe that. I know that to be true because I've spent like near enough 18 months in a room, locked in a room, working on my product. And I know that no one else does that, so I know it's good. And so when you enter a market and when you see the inefficiency, you'll notice that the bar's not being set very high, and it's pretty damn easy to do that. And so what we're going to be doing now is actually exploring the strategy on how to raise the bar and how to get better. And the truth is that really it comes down to a couple of things. The first one is effort, and the second one is reinvestment. There might be a few more, and we'll keep going. But so the first thing, well, really, I honestly would say the third one is love. The first way that you raise the bar and you destroy your competition by basically building something that's better than them. And by the way, when you build something that's better than them, it will take the market maybe 2 years to catch up. Markets move slowly and they will recognize value and bias towards value, but that will happen over time. And what will happen is your business will scale like this. It will go real slow, real slow. And then depending upon the level of intensity at which you've raised the bar, is that will depend on the level of intensity at which you scale, because you'll start to get a network effect here, where you'll scale real slow, and then suddenly out of nowhere you'll just spike up. And I know this is true because this is actually what happened with my company, with Imperium Acquisition, where we built this program called Easy Grow. And, really in the first 2 years, we went from, maybe $0,000 a month to like 200K a month, which sounds like pretty extreme growth, but growth is only once again extreme contrasted to the later growth that happens. And so we went from 0 to 200 grand a month in over like 2 years, like linear growth, which is still pretty impressive for a business that's 2 years old. But then what happened, really in February of last year, so February of 2023, is we did a massive program update. And suddenly we went from doing 200 grand a month to like $1 million a month, like within the space of a year. And so this actually works and this actually happens, but it just takes the market some time to acknowledge that, oh, this person's got the best thing, we should all go and buy from them. And that's what starts to happen. And so the first thing that you do to achieve this is effort. A product is an output, okay? If we reason from first principles here, we ask ourselves, what is this? Well, what is the input of your program or your business, like your product itself? Well, really, it's just effort. And what effort is an investment of time and energy. That's really what effort is it's you basically just investing your time and energy into the thing. And so the easiest way, conveniently and simply, the easiest way to beat someone and build something that's better than them, better than their thing, is to just put in more time and energy. That's literally it. That's how I did it. I just sat down and thought, okay, so it looks to me like everyone who's selling a course here may have put like a couple of weeks, or at tops, they put 1 month into this program. So I can see they've cut corners, they've left things out, it's not complete, there's lots of complexity left for people to figure out, questions are left unanswered. You can tell when someone hasn't really bothered, right? And so the easiest way to beat them is just to bother. And so I looked at my competition, did a little audit on them. I bought all the courses when I went into the market, and looked at them all and thought, okay, well, I can probably do a better job than this. And then all I did was just work on the program for 18 months. I just put in 18 times more time than the previous person before me. And lo and behold, now my product is probably 18 times better than anybody else's. And like, for example, there's a module in my program called Acquisition Genesis, which is the introductory video that explains how high-ticket client acquisition works from first principles. It's an 11 video series consisting of 30 hours of content, and I know for a fact that each hour of content in that module or in those videos took me 30 hours to make. It took me 900 hours to make 11 videos, and that's I spend more time on one video typically than most people spend on their entire course. And so that's how you beat people. And effort really is about depth. depth of understanding, because you might be selling a marketing agency service. I don't know what you're selling exactly. I don't know what product you have. It's probably like some sort of online thing. But really, it's just effort. It's just going really deep on your thing. So I did the same thing when I was like running a marketing agency for gyms, which was my first business called NorthFlow Consulting. I just basically obsessed over Facebook ads. I obsessed over it. I made it my entire life mission to just understand that platform so well and to put so many more hours into it than everybody else. It's really not hard to beat people. It's not hard to destroy your competition. All you have to do is put in more effort than them. It literally is that simple. And all you have to do is just learn more than them about your thing and care more about your thing than they do, and you'll beat them. It's not like it's not to do with like crazy weird business strategy and wild this and that. Like, you just do more work than them on the thing that matters. Because I know that like what was happening with my market when I came in is all of the people who were selling these crap courses, they were off buying cars and like going out on parties and like worrying about like their personal image and buying expensive clothes. And like, I knew it. I saw it. I was like, these guys are going to be really easy to beat. And we did. We just came in and just absolutely steamrolled them. And I just, one by one, every now and then I'd go and check on their Facebook profiles or their YouTube channels, and they just stopped posting. And that happens because someone comes along who just was willing to put in more effort than them. And so it's not hard to beat people who just put more effort in. The second rule to building an incredible product is reinvestment. And so this is a philosophy that I've been using, a strategy that I've been using, that I've borrowed from lots of other industries. The problem with the online industry is it exists in this weird bubble where people don't apply general business principles and strategies. If you look at a software business or, any successful business that works on a global scale, you'll usually find they have a research and development department, or at least they reinvest into their program, into their value delivery mechanism. They take the money, they create a feedback loop where they take the money that they've made and they reinvest that into their value delivery system, so that becomes better, so they can deliver more value to get more people on board and to get more money to increase that value flow. When your business exists purely for the purpose of you making money, you lose. But when your business exists purely for the purpose of making other people money or helping other people solve their problem, then you will win. Because what I do with my money in my business is I actively reinvest in my program. I'm just going to tap screen. So I'm one of the only people I know who actually does this, with a few exceptions, where when a client gives me money, I allocate a certain percentage of that money to reinvesting into their experience. And so I can give you an example of this. Right now, on my payroll, I have an individual who his full-time role is to do research and development into outbound acquisition systems for appointment booking. All he does, 8 to 10 hours a day, is research new ways to get appointments through cold email and cold calling and cold DMing. And he's been doing that now for a while, and he builds new modules, he updates things in the program, he finds problems before they happen for clients. And I've got some dude his name's Will, he's actually one of my close friends, I love him to bits. But he's a demon, he'll just focus on just this one problem. And another example, we pay external coaches to come in and coach our clients. And so what's happening in the market at the moment is we're seeing this drastic sort of paradigm shift, really, where we're going from, we're really going from people focusing on money to people focusing on like care and actually loving their clients. And what's happening is we've got this transition here of business model, really, where I honestly think that the way that we're going to move and the way that all markets move is towards businesses that provide the most value, right? But I think what's going to happen is as time goes by, is all of these markets that can be monopolized, like the way that we did it with our market, all these markets that can be monopolized will, and they'll be monopolized by people who put more effort into their programs and who actually just reinvest into their program. Like take just even 10% of the money that you make and put that back into buying new modules for your program or your service or whatever it is. And I'm talking about building a course here, so maybe you've got a different thing, but these principles still apply. And then really the third thing that I found to be pretty damn helpful for building something that's better than everybody else is love. And honestly, that sounds cringy and it sounds strange, but what I found is that if you just want to make 10 grand a month or even 100 grand a month, You can do that without loving what you do. You want to make 10K a month, you want to make 100 grand a month, like you just want to make money and have a lifestyle and go and sit on a beach in Bali. You're going to get your love from your lifestyle. That's fine. You know, your love and your happiness is either going to come from your work or from your lifestyle. Okay. Now, obviously, you're going to get love and happiness from family members and stuff, but really, you kind of got to pick, like, where are you getting your love from? Are you getting your love from doing meaningful work or from having meaningful things that the work gives you? The problem is that this is fine. The lifestyle's fine if you want to get to 10K a month, even if you want to get to 100K a month, it's fine. But if you want to monopolize and destroy and conquer, you need to love your work. It's near enough, I don't think I know anyone, I know quite a lot of people who are very successful, and I don't think any of them, I'm talking like top of their game, like complete conquerors, destroyers, right? You know, destroyer of world, whatever. I don't know any of them that don't love what they do. You have to love your work. You don't have to if you want to just build a lifestyle, but if you want to have it all and just destroy everyone and conquer the market that you're in and build a monopoly and build an empire, then you kind of have to love doing that because it's extremely painful, and also you have to sacrifice pretty much everything that isn't work, family and health. Like when I look at my life right now, all I have in my life is my work, my family, and my friends, obviously, and my health. Those are the only three things that I focus on. Everything else has been sacrificed, even including my Call of Duty kill-death ratio. I stopped caring about that a long time ago. You know, you need to stop thinking, like I tried to start learning languages, sacrificed. Because I love work more than I love learning languages. The only two things I love more than work are my family and my body. Because I need those two things. They're pretty damn important. Everything else that isn't those two things has been sacrificed and all that energy has been put into work. And so if you want to destroy your competition, you have to build something that's better than them, and you have to deliver value in a way that supersedes theirs. And you do that by putting in more effort, reinvesting money back into your program or to your product, and operating out of a place of love. Because when I'm building my program and I'm spending I spent 3 weeks on a video the other day called Apocalyptic Imperial Scale. It's a 3 hour 30-minute video that explains how to scale. And that thing sent me to the edge of the darkness. I'm telling you. I had to look the devil in the eyes for that one. It was horrible hell to make. Super painful. It really sucked. But now, what you realize is the pain that you put into your product is it's like an exchange where you're putting pain into your product, and the amount of pain that you put in alleviates an equal amount of pain on your customer's side. And Jeff Bezos calls this eating your customer's complexity, where you want to make things as easy for the customer as possible. And so it's a pretty simple exchange here, because the more that I put into if this is if this is an exchange, if this is me, and this is my customer, and there's a line between us, and then this is obviously the product. So let's say that I put in 50 units of pain to build this product and solve this problem. Well, by putting in these 50 units of pain into my product, what my customer can do is they can go into this product and they can take those units of pain out of their life. So what this means is when my customer comes in and they look at this product and they start using this product, what's going to happen is the 50 units of pain that I put in are going to be transferred through the product into the prospect, and it's going to alleviate the pain. Because if I spend 50 units of pain solving the problem for them, then it's worth 50 units of pain for them to buy it to solve that problem. So you're exchanging pain, basically. And so the more pain you put into your product, typically the more pain that you can solve for a prospect, because you're putting in your time and energy and you're sacrificing things in your life so that they don't have to. And if you learn how to do this and you put lots and lots of pain into your product, eventually you'll build something that's so good that alleviates so much pain for someone because you put so much in. The pain has to come from somewhere. They might as well come from you, because you can exchange pain for money. It's kind of like the infinite money glitch. It just hurts. So yeah, that's how I did it. Bye.